Staying sane in a remote world. Welcome to the second of our three-part series, The Future of Human Interaction. We all know the story from over a century ago when America was moving around on horses. Henry Ford famously said that if he had asked people what they wanted, most would have said a faster horse. Those horse owners didn't know what they didn't know. If you fast forward to today, we all knew that over time we would move toward virtual interaction as our technology got better and better. Now, the COVID-19 crisis has obviously accelerated that shift. However, if you ask most people today, how do they imagine the future of human interaction, might they say, well, a smarter smartphone or a better Zoom call? Well, today's conversation is about imagining that leap into the unknown in the realm of human interaction. And since our calling card is where tech meets design, we will delve into the design of that future and the tech tools that are needed to support it. Now, tonight's discussion is a classic one for our project, Jerusalem where tech meets design. We take a big, hairy topic or a sector, and we try to tease out what does happen when design meets a big tech challenge. We believe that Jerusalem is a city with unique resources, both in terms of its flourishing tech sector, and we released Startup Nation Central and Jerusalem Development Authority and the Jerusalem Institute. In honor of Jerusalem Day, we released updated data about the city's tech sector, and of course the world-ranked academic institutions, Bezalel School, Academy of Art and Design, Hebrew University, and the Israeli College of Engineering. And that makes Jerusalem the ideal venue for this conversation. Now, this evening, we are joined by three entrepreneurs and experts who are already living in that future and playing an active part in building it. Did they know that the first half of 2020 would propel this process forward by years? Well, we can ask them, and we can ask them during the Q&A. We're going to start with Mati Mariansky, who is an entrepreneur in the field of synthetic media and a lecturer at the Bezalel Academy of Art and Design master's program in tech and design. Mati is the founder of the Age of Machines community on Facebook, the largest of its kind in Israel with 26,000 members. And he's going to speak this evening about intelligent machines and how they're already here. Question is, will these machines change the way we interact and the way we create? Mati, over to you.
Hi, thank you, Wendy. Share my screen. All right, got it. Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming. I want to talk about needles in haystacks and about synthetic media. If you wonder what synthetic media is, here's a little hint at the background of my slide. All these girls are not real people, and I'll talk a little bit about it later. But I want to tell you a little story before. So I got this email about 2 months ago. I'm sorry it's in Hebrew, but I'm going to translate the nice parts of it. So here this guy says, I have some very, very bad news for you. And I want to tell you, you're a big pervert. And here's my wallet. So you can only pay me in Bitcoins. And please don't be upset with me. This is my profession. Basically, he says he hacked my computer and he took photos of me watching porn. I wasn't very worried because I never watch porn. I only watch math videos and physics videos. But the same time that I got this mail, a few people from, a few relatives of me were worried about it. They contacted me and said, I got this mail. Should I worry about it? Is this real? Is it not real? and I decided to look at this Bitcoin wallet and see what's going on there. And you can see this is the week that he sent me the email. Look how many people paid him, and they got scared from the email. And by the end of the week, he made almost $23,000. So that's really nice. That's a quite, I would say, lucrative profession. Doesn't even have to leave your home. I looked back in the email and I saw that he actually sent me 4 or 5 versions of this email, and he was hoping that at least one of them will work. You can see another version of the same email. This one was not written so well as the other one, and only made $3,000. So it's got me, thinking about it. If the way he writes his email is actually the way that determines how much money he's going to make out of it. So here's a little guide for you if you want to get into this profession. If you want to be an extortion mail writer. So this is what you have to do. You have to write an email. You have to send it to everyone in the world. This is quite easy, actually. You just have to need to get a list of emails, collect your money, and do it all over again, right? And 2, 3, and 4 are quite easy to do. And 1 is the actual hard part. You have to come up with a very good email that will scare people, and you have to write it and rewrite it and try a few versions and do a few languages. And this part, is the difficult part because it can't be automated, right? You have to have a real person to write your email for you. Well, this is no longer true, actually, because look at this, 2 examples. These 2 text files were written by an algorithm called Grover that you can also use it on the internet for free. And I asked you to write 2 articles for me about the way I won the prestigious Lumen Award, right? The Lumen Prize. So this one is kind of from the New York Times, and this one is from The Guardian. Both of them were written by the same algorithm. I like this one a little better because I got the Fulbright Fellow Scholarship. And this one made me chief executive in Shopilitic. So I guess this is a startup. I could write a million more of these emails, right? All I have to do is just refresh and refresh again, and I will get another article and another paper and another post saying about me winning the prize. Or I could use it to write extortion mails if I wanted to, right? In fact, when this algorithm came out, OpenAI, which was the maker of a similar algorithm, they were saying it's too dangerous to share. So they wouldn't even release it to the public because they were afraid that people like the guy who wrote the first email would just use it to, compose a million different emails, send them to a million different people, and then see which one works throughout the other 9,000 and just use the one that really, really works. And if you write a million emails and it doesn't cost you anything to do that, one of them is going to be really, really, really good. And you could actually do that and write as much text as you want. Doesn't cost you anything. You can get as many versions as you want of it. What else can we generate today? Look at these faces. They were made by an algorithm called StyleGun 2, all right? So we have 6 faces over here. All of them look real. All of them look like they have a mother and a father. They have an autobiography. They were born somewhere. They speak some language, but only one of them is free. If you see this, you can try and guess which one is the real one. You can write in the chat the number that you think is. I'll give you a few seconds to think about it. Which one of all these faces is real? Okay, I got number 3 and I got the 6.
Okay.
Yeah. None of them is real, Amir says. All right, let's get some more guesses. Only one of them is real. I guarantee it. One of them is a real person. The rest of them were made by a computer.
Wow, you're definitely getting a range of responses with an emphasis on number 6, it looks like.
Number 6. Number 6 looks like a real one. Okay, I'm going to give you the answer. The answer is number 3. So who wrote number 3? You were right. Number 3 is actually a real person. The rest of them were generated by a computer, by an algorithm. You can see how real it is. Most of us can't even tell the difference. Those who could tell the difference, I don't know how you managed to guess it. Neto, maybe you saw it from the last the last presentation. If you want to use one of these photos, it's totally free because there's no person that it actually belongs to. So there's no copyright on these images. You don't have to sign a model release. All you have to do is just generate as many persons as you want. One of them can be the presenter for your next campaign. Another one could be a fake persona on LinkedIn. They can be whatever you want, and you can use them as much as you want. Look at this algorithm. This one is called wave function collapse. You just give it one example, and then it can generate an infinite amount of new examples from that. So in this case, it's generated these Lego villas. So if you're an architect looking for some inspiration, you could just watch it all day long. It just generates more and more and more villas as much as you want. Millions of them, right? Look at this one. This one is called the Manifold of Phones. So this algorithm received 1,000 different fonts, and you can see them on this red island here. These are the fonts. Every dot on this island represents an actual font. So if I'm standing on the dot, I'm on a real font. But as far away as I'm getting from this island, these fonts will get more avant-garde, right? They will get more strange and weird. But if I want to create a new font, if my client asks me for a special font for their own new branding, I don't have to waste a year making a new font. All I have to do is travel with this point around. And when I'm happy with the font that I got, I just have to hit export. And I have a brand new font that the computer made for me. And I can make, again, as many as I want to, right? Look at this one. This is a project that I did a few months ago. On the left, you can see a page from a book about, this is from a century ago. This is a book about all the Beatles in South America. So it had about, I don't know, 60 pages of these Beatles. And I fed them into an algorithm. And on the right, I got an infinite amount of new Beatles that don't exist. Okay, these are not real Beatles. These are Beatles that were dreamed by my algorithm. And now I have 1 billion Beatles. I am still not sure what I'm supposed to do with all those Beatles. If you have any idea what to do, if you need the photos of Beatles, call me. I have as many as you could ask for. So eventually, and I can't tell you when this is going to happen, but it could be like 1 year or 2 years from now, 2 years from now, or maybe a little more, but not too far into the future. We're going to have a machine that can generate any possible photo, any photo that you could think of. Think about Shutterstock, right? It has all those photos that were made by photographers. So I can have a machine that can generate all those photos and many more other photos, any photos that you can think of or you would need. I could make 1,000 of them for you. Could be have any persons in it. They could be standing in any stance you want, in any background. I can just generate it for you. I'll have another machine that can write stories, and I'll have another machine that can compose music. And a lot of time when I'm saying, people say, okay, so what's going to be our job in this world where a machine can make every possible photo? It's like, is there any value for human creation anymore when you have a machine like that? So I have some good news, I think. First of all, and this is something that Nick Cave said, and he said it very nicely. So when we listen to a great song, what we're actually listening to is human limitation and the audacity to transcend it. And what it means is, I can give you a nice photo made by a computer, and I could give you another photo made by a real photographer, and I can tell you a story about how this photographer waited for a whole week for this special sunset to come in, and you know, it was his last photo available, and he almost ran out of food because he was waiting in the wilderness, and I don't know, then he died, and this was the last photo that he ever took, all right? And I could take the same photo and say, okay, this is just computer generated. If there's a human story attached to it, to a creation, it will always have more value than something which is synthetic. But still, what's going to happen when we have all this material in front of us and all those photos that are, and all those music and all these stories that you can just grab on from? So what's going to happen first is that blank page is going to disappear. And what is the blank page? Like, imagine this, that you have to write a new email for someone, or you have to have a new paper, or you're composing a new piece of music, or you have to design a site or anything. You always begin with a blank page and you stare at it and you are in complete horror. You're always afraid that they're going to discover that you can't do this, or it's not going to be up to your expectations, or what are you going to do? How are you going to fill this blank page? Okay, this is the time of the day that you're going to clean your house or do all kind of procrastinating because you just don't know how to start. So this panic of the blank page is going to be totally gone, because we are no longer going to be faced with a blank page. We're going to be faced with a huge haystack of possibilities. So whenever you're going to need a new image for something or write a new story, you're just going to have a machine that generates a million, okay, a universe size of a pile of possibilities for you to choose from. And instead of creating, you will find yourself curating. So the problem of facing a blank page is going to be replaced by a totally different problem of finding your special needle, your unique needle in that big haystack, finding your tree inside this huge forest of possibilities. And this is going to be your job as a creator. You're going to turn into a curator. And we're going to see all the tools like Photoshop are actually going to be tools that are search tools, tools that are allowing us to look for a specific creation inside this huge pile of possibilities that machines are going to have for us. That's it. That's all I have for today. And there's so much more to talk about. What we have such a short time. You can find me on Facebook in Aliyat HaMechonot. If you only speak Hebrew, I'm sorry, it's all in. If you only speak English, it's only in Hebrew. So Google Translate is your friend. We have a new post every day about exactly these matters. Today we spoke about the crazy stuff that's happening in Facebook right now. You can find me on Twitter, on an email. So if you have any questions, you're very welcome to ask me here right now or later. So back to you, Wendy.
Well, thank you, Mati. I have to say, after listening to you, I don't know whether I should panic or be inspired by the endless potential that you laid out. I'll decide as we go, but there will be an opportunity for a Q&A in a few minutes once we've heard from our other two speakers. Just want to invite our audience to use the Q&A button on your screen, at the bottom of your screen, if you'd like to ask any questions, and in a few minutes we will turn to the Q&A. So Mati, you can actually do stop video.
All right.
Okay, great. So thank you. Like I said, not sure whether I should be panicking or being really inspired by by the sky's the limit. We're now going to shift. We're going to shift to a related but different angle here, which is the future of online interaction. We're going to be joined by someone who works for a small company whose vision is to inspire creativity and bring joy. Now, that company is TikTok and ByteDance, which gave birth to TikTok. And actually, the app of TikTok is currently on 1 billion screens around the world. So we're really waiting to hear what Maayan Sharf has to say. Maayan is on the Corporate Global Strategic Partnerships team at ByteDance TikTok. She spent 10 years in China working at large Chinese tech companies, and she focused on international business and cross-border partnerships. Maayan is a member of the World Economic Forum Global Shapers, and we are especially interested, Maayan, to hear what you have to say from your perch at TikTok.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Wendy. Let me just quickly share screen. There we go. Thank you, Wendy, and good evening. My name is Maayan Sharf, as Wendy mentioned. I'll be sharing a little bit about TikTok today, our journey, some use cases. I've been at the company since January 2016, and I focus majorly on partnerships, global partnerships around the content. I'll just jump into it and start us off. So TikTok is the leading destination for short form mobile videos. So TikTok is a vertical video, 15-second up to 30-second now, videos where you're able to really explore the world through the different videos on the platform. What makes us unique and different from some of the other platforms that we have is TikTok is really an endless stream of vertical customized videos. So again, as I mentioned before, when you open the app, you open your phone, you land on a For You feed, which is an endless stream of vertical customized videos. So that essentially means that we are able to deliver content based on your interest points. So the more you consume, the more we're really able to tailor make the feed for you. So for example, if you're a fan of animals, we're able to recommend content on animals. So you'll be opening the app and you'll see very short vertical videos of animals. So cats and dogs and cows and whatever's trending and whatever we have new and exciting for you, as well as showing you some different content that you might be interested in. So for example, the majority of our users are interested in animals. They're also interested in do-it-yourself or cooking or fashion. We'll be able to also recommend content around those different topics. So you're able to really explore. TikTok is very intuitive and easy to use. I'll share a little bit more as we go in the presentation, but essentially we hope, one of our main objectives is really to make each and every person a creator. So once you open the app, you're able to consume very quickly, and then you're also able to create very quickly. So we have a lot of filters and music library for you to choose from, and stickers to really create your own video in easy, non-barrier to entry at all way. The third thing that makes this unique is that it's a content-driven feed. So different from other platforms that are available today, where you have to follow your friends, and then based on what your friends are consuming, you then get content that is recommended for you or tailored for you. We're really driving your consumption by what you're consuming, that is content. So again, based on interest point, as I mentioned before. Our mission is to inspire creativity and bring joy. We believe, and truly being at the company for as long as I've been, that once we're able to create this safe environment, this easy environment, intuitive environment for our users, we inspire them to create, to become more creative, to reach or to try and reach their limits, and with the mission of really bringing joy. And so I'd like to walk you through a little bit the journey of the product and how it's been how it evolved through the different years. So in 2017, TikTok was launched. It was launched as a standalone product in some key markets such as India, Japan, and Korea. By the end of 2017, we acquired Musical.ly, which some of you might have heard of. And between the end of 2017 and the summer of 2018, we worked on combining the two products into one product and relaunched as TikTok, which brought all the different types of content and our users into one platform that really delivered an endless stream of customized videos. In 2019, as the product grew, localization and growth was really a focus and still is a focus for us. We believe that given the platform is content driven, the design of the product as well as the people on the ground are really the drivers for consumption and creating in local markets. And as such, we also opened many global offices. There's a list here on the right, but all in all, there are over 120 global offices, with one that was opened earlier this year in Tel Aviv. 2020 brings challenges globally with COVID-19. We're realizing that life is moving faster than before. And for us at TikTok, the content is very quick. And so we believe that every second counts. TikTok today is available in over 150 markets around the world in 75 languages. And so really that's been the journey from the first product launch all the way to acquisition, growth, localization. Moving on to some of the fundamentals of the product and what we believe in. We truly believe that everyone is a creator. So as I said earlier, we have creation tools. Those creation tools in the form of filters or stickers are updated on a more or less bi-weekly, sometimes monthly basis, where we launch new stickers and new creations. Those are also tied into cultural events that are happening around the world, for example. So we're really trying to lower the barrier for creation, to eliminate it completely if possible, by really having all you need in a very intuitive and easy way on the product, on your phone, to really capture the moments that count. That's for the most of us, for the users. And then in terms of our creator communities, we do have creators on the platform that really engage in creation all the time. And so they've created a large community that's really launching different initiatives within the product. So with the pandemic, we launched with our creator community some initiatives in the US, Happy at Home, or in other countries. In India, for example, we launched EduTalk with some of our creators, and those are really driving the viral videos and the content on the platform. I've included here, given the majority of the audience is from Israel, a few creators that we have here in Israel that are actually showcasing the engagement on the platform. So when I look, for example, at Eden Ben-Zaken, who is a famous Israeli singer, she's using one of our filters. You can see these gray cubicles or stripes in the middle of her shirt and on her face. That's one of the filters, and she's creating against a challenge here. On the far right, on the first row, we can see Aline Cohen, who is a daughter of a very famous Israeli singer by the name of Eyal Golan. And they together are participating in a challenge that was launched on TikTok. So one of the engagement mechanisms on TikTok is really to launch a hashtag challenge that any user is able to create against. And so those challenges become viral. And we can see here on the bottom, Aline Cohen, who is another very famous Israeli creator and celebrity, who is using the effect of enlarging her face. So we can see her face unproportionately big to herself in this video. I'd like to also touch on a few use cases of how the different communities are using TikTok. So what we've witnessed in the past couple years is that TikTok is really driving part of the music industry and changing it as a whole. I'm not sure if you recognize the person on the slide, but that is a singer by the name of Lil Nas X. So Lil Nas X wrote this song called Old Town Road. Some of you might have heard of it, but last year he released it and no one heard about it. And he released it on multiple platforms and it just didn't stick. And then he released a meme on TikTok that became viral to the point where Billy Ray Cyrus, who's a very famous country singer, approached him, and together they re-recorded the song completely. And they broke a Billboard record of staying on the top charts for 19 weeks straight. So this just illustrates how the use case of using some of our creation tools, such as music, is really affecting some of the other industries. Another example I'd like to touch on is how we work with brands and how we work with content providers. So another example on this one is something that I worked on personally, is with the NFL. So the NFL and us partnered at the beginning of their season, their last season, which was at the end of last year, on activation both online and offline with TikTok. So they launched this hashtag We Ready for their kickoff night around the world. And we had our creators that are part of our community that I mentioned earlier that we sent over to the stadium, and they were capturing content there, and there was an off-site activation, and then that all tied into the platform where NFL activated the league, the teams and the different players in order to really connect with the new generation of users, and really to expand the reach of both the live stream and their broadcast for the night of kickoff. The next two slides are going to be on use cases for COVID-19, which is something that's been with us since the beginning of this year. And so TikTok has partnered with the World Health Organization to support our community through the pandemic. And so one of the things that was very important for us and for the World Health Organization is to deliver our users with the most accurate information. And so we design a landing page, if you see on the far left, for COVID-19 with a banner on top where all the videos that have to do with COVID-19 that are informational from verified sources all live in there. So for example, we work with the British Red Cross, and in Israel we work with Magen David Adom and World Health Organization. All their videos live there. So when our users want to learn more about the coronavirus, as we see here, or COVID-19, they're able to really access firsthand informative videos. The second screen to the right is the World Health Organization account showcasing a video that they made to educate on 7 steps to prevent the spread of the virus. So our users are able to watch a very easy to consume 15-second video and really consume accurate information from a reliable source, which is something that's very important for us when we deliver such important information. And so the last two screens on the right are a Q&A section where we're answering very common or frequently asked questions about the virus, and World Health Organization is providing accurate, informative, in-depth information about the virus, as well as how to protect yourself, basic protective measures, when to use a mask, how to use a mask, when to use gloves, and so on and so forth. Other than working with organizations such as the World Health Organization for COVID, we also worked with celebrities to raise money to support frontline workers. And so one of the examples, this actually happened just last week, where Gary Vee, who is a media mogul, went on a live stream for 12 hours on TikTok to raise money. So on the right, we can see the donation sticker. So if you see, there are 3 different screens and the amount is different in each of the screens. So it starts with $22,000, $64,000, and then goes up to $138,000. So we encourage our users to watch the live stream and really donate based on their capability to this cause. And so Gary Vee went on a live stream for 12 hours where he hosted, we can see in the middle, will.i.am or Paris Hilton on the right. All in all, he was able to raise about $900,000. And then Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, then donated another $250,000. And then TikTok matched that amount to a total of $2.3 million. So this just happened last week to support frontline workers in the pandemic. And here, as we're looking into the future, it's a very challenging yet full of opportunity time that we're living in right now. If you asked me last year what looking to the future is, I had a very good answer of what I think the future looks like. The past couple of months have proved us, I guess, all maybe not wrong, but challenged what we think. And so when we look at the future and we look at the initiatives that we're currently seeing as picking up in terms of how we interact with each other, how do our users consume on the platform, how do they interact with each other on the platform, we see a lot of live stream, like the example with Gary Vee. With live stream, we've done a few other initiatives like providing with seniors at high school a prom, for example, in the US. We also see leaning towards more informative and working with a lot of NGOs and organizations to provide information in this challenging time. So WHO is one of them. We're working also on education initiatives, such as bringing a sports trainer to your house via your phone to train you, or a nutritionist to talk about food, or you know, the likes of masterclass and so on and so forth, to really educate. And we see that our users are engaging, whether through live or whether through filming, videoing themselves, creating videos against that content, and really reacting to it. That was for me, and thank you everyone for tuning in. I just want to mention that we're hiring in Tel Aviv, and so if the audience is interested, your friends are interested, your cousins are interested, I'll be more than happy to support. And all of the positions are on LinkedIn, so you guys can take a look. And if you're not on TikTok yet, then this is the time to download it. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.
Thanks so much, Maya. And I have to say, it's one of the TikTok has become one of those things where if you don't know about it in my household, you really just can't engage with the teenagers. It's quite a phenomenon. 1 billion screens and growing. So thanks so much for joining us. Okay, so if that didn't take us enough into another realm, our next speaker is going to take us into the realm beyond TikTok, which is mixed reality. And I just want to remind you again, any questions, just pop into the Q&A at the bottom of the screen. And as soon as we're finished with our next speaker, we will be happy to open it up for Q&A. So Alon Melchner is a serial entrepreneur and a future tech expert. So what does that mean? A future tech in this case is mixed reality, augmented reality, and virtual reality. Alon is the founder and CEO at Mixed Place, which is a company with multiple patents that allows agencies and brands to cover the world with digital content overlay of mixed reality. Now, Alon was invited in order to share with us the possibilities in the field of mixed reality and how mixed reality will actually permeate our daily interactions at home, at work, and in the public sphere. Alon, please join us.
Hello, everyone. After this cool introduction, I hope I will really open your mind and show you the future that we see coming very soon, and we are trying to share it with everyone. I will share my screen so it will be easier. So I want to present to you what we call the biggest digital revolution and evolution that is coming, and it's coming so big and so powerful, and it will change so much in our lives that we will be happy to share it with you. I'm starting with the idea of reality, because this is part of what is going to happen. Reality as we know it is something that we can see, or maybe something that we can touch. How do we know it's real? You know, there are many concepts and ideas about metrics and all kinds of things. How do we know we are really there where we are? Now, this question is going to be much bigger very soon, because our lives are going to be mixed. And it's going to be mixed with real things combined with virtual things that are almost the same. We will not be able to differentiate them. How do we know it's real? How do we know it exists? And there are many solutions that are coming, like gloves to touch things, that will be able to touch virtual content. And we are going to, of course, enjoy smelling and listening and tasting. All those senses are going to be part of our life. And we are going to enjoy them soon combined. So reality will be both the real senses and the virtual senses that makes us believe they are real. What we represent is mixed reality. That is part of the vision, but we see mixed reality as something that combines everything inside, as the new medium, as the new idea. So mixed reality is, of course, we see it as something that is the evolution of the next step of AR and VR. Some call it XR. XR is including everything inside, but I don't want to get into that right now. We are talking to a lot of people, and some see the future as a deadly road, you know, like we will go with the phones and we will be stuck there and we will fall from the cliff. But we believe that fear was always part of the evolution from every device that came in, the internet, the smartphones. And, you know, so this is not the future that we believe in. not for retail, not for anything physical. We are not going to stop in front of the screen. In the opposite. Until now, for the last 20, 30, 40 years, we were in front of a two-dimensional screen, and all the digital experiences and engagements, and even engagement with people like we are doing right now, is in front of a real screen. But lucky for us, we live in a three-dimensional world. We used to do that, and we like people. I think most of us still like people. And engagements and interactions, or social interactions. And of course, you saw TikTok, and TikTok is also an example of how people want to see people. They want to see each other. The excitement of things of the future that we see is that the digital content, the experiences will be combined in the real world. So we'll be able to be physically near real people and enjoying it. Now, this is an example of something that we launched. This is the launch of iPhone X in Israel. Of course, everyone is looking at the screen, right? Because we still have mobile phones and iPads and things like that, but it's going to be changing very soon. Apple, there are now very big rumors about Apple launching this type of glasses, something that will be casual, normal viewing glasses or sunglasses that we will be able to enjoy the content on top of them, and I think it will replace the idea of a square screen like the iPhone. And there are other companies are doing it, a company like Unreal that's going to release this year those cool glasses that will cost only $500. The idea is that you don't see a screen on it. You see the real environment. You see whatever you see on your house, in the street, and the content appears there. And this is something that we knew that is coming, and we are trying to teach others about this digital content revolution that is coming. And content will be all over the place. You will have mushrooms in the park because you like mushrooms. So taking the personalization from digital, online, or mobile now can be part of your real environment. This is the vision. You go with your girlfriend to the restaurant and you have a fish that guides you on the street, or advertisement that is appearing there. Buildings from the architect that can show you what exists. All kinds of experiences that appear for education, for fun, content creation tools that anyone can start creating content on the real street. As I said, like experiences in the park that are personalized to what you want. And more examples from advertisement. Of course, it will affect every industry. Think about the virtual tourist guide that can take you in the street and guide you through. All those things that you see here, we are already doing, and we will try to share with you. So our vision is to try to enable those abilities into different solutions that will enable all of us to take part in this thing, because the content is not there. The evolution is coming. Next year, or in the next 5 years, it's going to be everywhere. So we are trying to develop all kinds of tools that will enable each one of you, if you have a startup, if you are an artist, if you are an agency, if you are a student. Imagine going on the street like that, and just by drag and drop, you can start creating content on the street that persists there. So your friends can come there and see the same content that you have created. Of course, it can be art, it can be advertisement, but it can be anything else. And as a user, you'll be able to choose probably what you want to see, like what we do now on mobile or on the web. We have already developed all kinds of things to increase the engagement, because this is what we want to do. We want to increase engagement and interactions between people. So collectibles that enables friends to play together and collect stuff, and then they be able to build with it. Actually, new technology that we have just launched, and this is, I think you're one of the first people to see it, like live hologram meetings, that what we're doing now in Zoom, the next meeting, if you want to organize it, each one of you will be in my apartment or in my office as an avatar, in a real 3D environment, not in virtual reality, but in the real kitchen, let's say in my real kitchen, and we will all be able to see a real product, interact with it, and the use cases for that are endless. You know, we were with the coronavirus trying to talk to our grandparents, and we were doing this on the screen. On the screen is fun, it's better than nothing, but how cool it was if they could have their grandson there with them as a virtual avatar for now. But he will be there, he will be in a three-dimensional space, he will be able to move around the house, they will be able to interact in 3D with 3D world and 3D objects together. So it will be even closer. And of course, the future that's come afterwards will be the ability to feel the touch. So again, it will never be the same as real life, but it's getting closer. And it's going to affect every industry. Healthcare, for example, that is very relevant. But we have taken it into a different path. Instead of running inside a hospital, corridors that are gray and boring, you could have colors in it. You can have a character that guides you on inside the hospital and take you to where you want to visit your, let's say, sick friend. But imagine a situation like this, and we are talking about interaction, and this is the main item of this event. Imagine a kid that has to be isolated inside a room that has nothing inside, but maybe a teddy bear that does nothing, and of course not interacting with it. Imagine we can bring everything to life. Imagine you can have a virtual teddy bear that can play with him basketball on the wall. But this teddy bear can include AI or connection to, like the system that we have that enables the parent to talk as the teddy bear and become his friend or interact with him and ask him what he wishes your mother to bring to you when she's visiting. So more and more solutions like that. Tourism, of course, will be affected dramatically. And imagine going to a museum when we can, and we will be able to do that soon. And this museum can be automatically colored with your art, with your favorite designs. You can see statues from the museum outside on the street, and of course you can go in and play with them. Advertisement, whenever you will go, I think the two-dimensional screens will disappear slowly, and we will have like holograms on the street, and all those advertisements will be personalized to you. If they know that you want coffee, you will have a coffee. If you know you like different animals, you will see them as part of the environment. Now, I don't know how many of you played Pokemon Go. We show it as an example of the evolution of what is AR. Pokemon Go was the first location-based game, but it was 99% map game, like you were playing on the map. We have created some unique, innovative solution for Adidas. And we took you to the street, not as a map, not like looking at the Google Maps or some type of map. You're really walking in the street through the camera, you see the real environment, but you see the balls that you need to collect. Each one of them represented 5% discount, or so 1% discount. And you could go with those discounts and have a coupon to go and buy the new Adidas shoes. So experiences will be like this on the street. Imagine Christmas. This was supposed to happen also, and events started to change with the corona, like Santa Claus flying really inside the mall. So this is a shared experience. So all those people who are in the mall could see Santa Claus flying exactly where he is and throwing gifts in the specific areas in the mall. So if you went to this specific area or this specific area, you could have picked up the gift and use it inside the mall. Collectibles is something that we are doing. We are working with supermarkets around the world, and whenever you bought in the supermarket, you could have collected dinosaurs. And with those dinosaurs, each one of you could have created a world of dinosaurs in your neighborhood, in your streets, in your park, and of course shared it. Now, those things are examples of use cases that we have done with real clients, but for us, they represent what can be and what is coming, and it will affect everything. And each one of you will take his own startup, his own ideas, and bring it into the real world. And this is like a really big, huge change. This is an example of a mall where real animals ran away from the zoo, and you need to go and find them in the mall. Event and exhibitions are going to be totally different. Of course, now we have a problem, and this is a unique situation where exhibitions have been frozen, at least for now. But you can upgrade and change the experiences of what you do, and you know, have pictures and other things. Imagine a blank exhibition like that can be upgraded with content. Think what will happen to education. Games. I don't know how many, I guess most of you play games. Everyone is playing that. The average age of gamers are actually 37, and people don't know it. Imagine games in the real street, in the real park, where you can play with your friends physically, okay, or build a real-time strategy that everyone can share. I know we are limited in time, and I want to show you different use cases in different aspects. And this is how the world is going to be. We are going to work inside real environments, what we do in daily event, what we do daily. But content, virtual content is going to be part of it. And we are going to enjoy the digital content combined with the real world. And this is what we represent. Imagine a robot that can walk with you inside the supermarket and can guide you to find the best products or the shortest path to find the product that you need. Before I'm finishing, there was, I kind of remembered that we didn't invent augmented reality. Actually, it was invented, I don't know, 40 years ago. We all know Roadrunner. So when Roadrunner was trying to escape the coyote learned how to create augmented reality, drew a tunnel on the wall, and the tunnel existed there. Okay, so this is part of a funny thing, and for us it gave us a lot of ideas of what may come. Okay, so I encourage you all to make the leap and become the leaders and take your business, your ideas, your thoughts, wherever your expertise, and think how it's going to be part of the real environment. And I thank you very much. I know we are limited in time, so I hope you enjoyed this brief, quick jump into the very close future.
Alon, thank you for joining us. I have to say, on the one hand, there's just no end to what the mind can imagine. On the other hand, I'm kind of hanging on to one of your slides that said, lucky for us, people need people. And I think that then COVID has really sort of forced us to hang in the balance between those two realities. I guess you call that a mixed reality, but anyway, thank you for joining us. I am going to open it up now for questions. We have time for about 2 questions. We have one here from Nitzan, who is asking Mayan from TikTok, will there be age-based filters on your platform? So Mayan, in order to allow time for a couple other questions, if you just give a brief answer.
I'll do this very, very short, I promise. So this is not my areas of expertise, but I will share what I know. And what I know is that today our terms of service explain black and white, and they're available on the website and on the app itself, that you have to be at least 13 years of age in order to use TikTok. Other than that, we use a combination of product development, technological development, and so on to make sure that the experience on the platform is adequate to different ages, and definitely 13 and above. It is an important area. We keep rolling out initiatives all the time to support appropriate age and appropriate consumption on the platform. One of the things that we launched earlier this year is called family pairing, where parents can actually see what the kids are consuming. There's also a time limit on consumption if you decide to put that on, so parents are able to say, okay, you're only allowed to consume X amount of time on the platform, and so on and so forth. So there are initiatives definitely in place, and we keep working to ensure a safe environment for our users. So I hope that was short and to the point, and I'm done.
Yeah, that was great. I have to say, I'm sure that's not the last we're going to be hearing on that line of questioning, so that was very helpful. Mati, a question for you. Okay, this is another one that's sort of flirting with the black cloud aspect of this story. How can we make sure the creative machines don't rise against us or get manipulated by anti-democratic or other negative forces?
So I don't think the machines are going to rise upon us. I think our problem is not artificial intelligence, as more as of natural stupidity, I would say. So I think it's up to all of us to get ourselves educated about what machines are capable of doing. The more you see synthetic media in front of you, the more your eye will be trained, your ear will be trained, and the more skeptic you'll become of what is being shown to you. So I would just say, stay educated about this and know where things are going. And I think our role as creators would be to get those things spread up as much as we can, so more people will get used to it and know about this. And then when someone is trying to use it to exploit it in a bad manner, we'll already be skeptics about it, and it's just not going to work.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. That's helpful to hear. Very last question, and Alon, one is for you, and we're going to have to do this very quickly. A lot to be excited with all this potential. What is it that scares you the most, and what can we do to address it? I have to say, fascinating that our listeners are going to this place of concern about what you've unleashed. So Alon, what would you say to that?
Wow, I'm always the one who is confident, like taking the fear out, because there are many ideas about what will be, and people will put content and it will cover the world. I'm telling a story about when we can hike somewhere on the mountain and see a bridge, and we can walk to the bridge and touch it, and I feel the ropes there. Okay, and when I'm trying to put my legs on the panels, like let's say the wood there that's supposed to hold me, it's actually not there. It's virtual. Okay, so there will be probably tests or tries, or people will try to kind of create illusions that will maybe even endanger us. But I think everything will be solved eventually. For every virus, there will be an antivirus, including the corona probably. But so
lips to God's ears, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's more exciting. I don't really feel fair. I'm so excited, and the best or the most exciting thing is what we all can do, because this is not a job for 1 or 100 or 1 million. It's a job for everyone to fill up the gap of content that is going to be needed very soon.
Right. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, Maayan and Alon and Mati, for joining us. A fascinating, I'm going to say, mind-bending conversation tonight. And I can't help but think in terms of this almost a movement that is now coming out of Jerusalem around tech and design. If nothing else, apart from the worlds that the three of you have opened up, I think you've also made the case, maybe subliminally, about the critical role that design plays and will be playing in each of your technologies. So maybe that's a conversation for a future webinar, or hopefully a fireside chat in person at a Jerusalem location. So I do want to thank you for joining us. I also want to just give a special shout out to our partners, the Ministry of Jerusalem, Jerusalem Development Authority, the Bezalel Academy of Art and Design, the Azrieli College of Engineering, and of course, New Spirit. We're just grateful to be able to work as a coalition to bring forward this very important content. I also want to mention that a week from tonight at 7:30 p.m., we will be hosting our final in the series of Staying Sane in a Remote World, and that will be the future of health. And we'll be joined with a subject matter expert of Ron Balitzer, who's the Chief Innovation Officer at Clalit, which is one of the largest HMOs in Israel, as well as 2 entrepreneurs to talk about some very futuristic trends in digital health and other solutions around Corona. Thank you again for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you next Tuesday evening. Till then, have a great week. Stay healthy.
Bye-bye.
Bye, thank you.
Thank you.